learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming in November 17th, 2020, and the stock market is going crazy after hours. There's a lot happening. I'm sure you guys know Tesla just got added to the S&P 500, and I thought it would be interesting. I thought you guys would want to see it. I even recorded it live, but I bought Tesla after hours. So please comment below what you want me to do with this. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. I got the news. I wanted to see what would happen if I reacted early. So I grabbed 10 shares after hours at $4.57 after the pop. I've already made 64 bucks, 1.5% on it. We'll see what happens by the end of this video. And then let me know if I should sell it out by the time I read the comments in the morning. We'll see. So I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. Tesla is obviously going up, so let's buy some after hours and see where it ends up in the morning. So I was doing this after hours as I'm shooting the watch list here, so we'll see. We'll do 10 of them. So I'm putting in after hours, order type limit. Again, you could do day, GTC, good till close, GTC, extended hours. So we'll see how this plays in. We'll do extended hours here. Confirm it. My limit's at like 460. And there you go. I just bought 10 Tesla shares after hours. I am going to day trade this, but, well, did I just top ticket? Well, we'll see where this ends up by the end of the watch list and in the morning. So have fun with that. I thought you guys would enjoy this. But that was one thing. There was a bunch of other companies after hours with Mr. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, as well as positive vaccine news that gapped us up this morning. And we had an overall pretty strong momentum run. We're right there next to the Dow all-time high. So it's pretty exciting. I have a lot of plays. I have like 5, I think, that I want to be looking at. I think tomorrow's going to be excited with all the news we got after hours. Again, just a various set from all across the board, price targets, everything. So I got a bunch of plays. I have the keys for tomorrow, everything that we're looking at, and we're going to go over the strategy of the Uber trade. We turned a $15,000 trade into a free $5,000 leap. So some of you guys were confused on that. We'll go over that play as well. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description, and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free 99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/the-stock-market. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life. And yes, if you want to trade Tesla tomorrow, it's going to be wild. Everybody on Robinhood's going to hear about it, and everyone's going to go crazy, but we will be the place to be. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below. Let us know what you're looking at. Got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post them below and source that info. Shout out to Chad, baby. So right off the bat, as far as today, this was all because of the vaccine. So there was a lot of interesting news. I would even say the conclusion of this is the first time in a while that we've got more positive vaccine news and the market actually stayed up. It didn't do that pop and then sell off. So that's very interesting. Even some of the companies involved, in this case, it was Myrna today, they actually held up. They did kind of sell off, but the fact that it didn't take the market out, or that even the results from last week haven't really been refuted or challenged yet, that is important. Now, as far as the market, what's going on, even with the number of cases and all that, it is getting important, but it's important to see how the market responds. So there's more vaccine news, and the positivity, or I guess some of the hope from it, is outweighing the market's concern on the virus here. So although the numbers keep going up, it seems as though people are putting more faith in a vaccine kind of fixing everything and that being the solution of the problem than getting worried just yet. Now, there was California and everything else happening. We're going to talk about that, but the key is to see if it spreads into anything bigger as far as lockdown or even in other countries. So we have our indicators. We're going to be watching that, but to get an idea here, if not, the market is melting up. And this is what I was talking about on the watch list yesterday. If there's no surprising information, there's no new information that is really going to spook Wall Street. In this case, it's probably going to be the amount of deaths as it relates to COVID. Then the market is probably going to melt up and do its thing up until the end of the year, or unless there is new information. So I will skip ahead and tie that into this. You know, the cases and closures are going to be important. They are getting important. But like we said, the key is going to be if there's going to be a nationwide lockdown or not, and then also nationwide distribution of the vaccine. So they're talking about it more and more. You're seeing it. The market's not really selling off on it, but there is a lot more faith in the vaccine, or the fear of the virus just isn't as much as what it was, even though the cases and all that stuff is going up. So the virus is outweighing it. So The market isn't spooked yet, or even global markets. And I think once global markets start panicking a little bit, it's a lot worse overseas. We will start to see America react a little bit more differently. So that is what I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Finally, on to the after hours. Today was really crazy after hours. There's a Berkshire Hathaway 13Fs that was kind of saying their new additions. They added ABBV, our favorite long-term hold. They got Merck, Pfizer, a bunch of other companies. They dropped Qualcomm. So they added a bunch of stakes in companies. That is going to have to get digested. There was also even companies like Costco. They issued a special dividend. You saw the Tesla news and all that. Then there was a few of those random earnings like Smile Direct Club. But overall, a lot of information came out after hours. So I think we're going to have to digest that. There was even the price target increase on DraftKings. So putting this all in all, I would expect even upgrades and downgrades, a whole cycle of that to kind of come in. And the market is going to have to digest some of these new purchases. You're going to see how people react. You'll see how they even react with Tesla, all of that stuff. So it is going to be an exciting day tomorrow and the rest of the week. So I hope you're ready, but that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, we have a lot of different plays that I want to go over. Again, we got that Tesla that I just got here after hours. We'll see how that plays out. Again, comment below. Let me know what I should do with it. But holding that one, I am going to see it tomorrow. I just think it's going to have a lot of activity. The question is, and this is even why I got those shares after hours, is it going to gap up or not? I think it is, so that's why I got those. I'm expecting most of the move to happen either at the gap up or in that first hour. So we'll see. You even saw, remember when Apple got that split news, and again, you saw the Honeywell edition and all those Dow mix-ups with CRM. There's like a few days streak, or sometimes if the gap up is big enough, it'll stay. So it's going to be really interesting. I want to watch that play. I think it's going to be important. Again, I think Tesla is just going to get a lot of eyes. A lot of you sent me this news instantly, so there's a lot of people ready for this, or at least they are going to focus on it tomorrow. So watch that one. Next play, DraftKings. I am still holding those other plays, and they expire at the end of the week. So even though DraftKings kind of went up today, I am going to have to roll those over, and that'll bring us here to the Robinhood. I'm going to skip ahead to the other play, but remember, we have two different plays expiring here in 4 days. Hopefully this helps us. Again, I'm still down on this as far as rollover strategy. I'm going to look at these tomorrow. Again, the idea is, I'm down 1,700. I'm thinking that's how much I'm going to lose on the rollover. We did the math last Thursday. It was about 3,000. As the stock goes in our favor, it looks like we'll lose less money. But if it does have a real big pop, it'll be good. So I'm going to be watching this stock tomorrow. But now coming to the Robinhood here, this is the Uber play that we made. And this is how we made a $15,000 trade into a $5,000 free trade, or barely. I did end up walking away with money on this one. It left a little bit of people confused. So this play we made today, we've owned this play. If you guys remember, right before the earnings, we bought this play. This was a LEAP contract. It has until 2023 of January, so about 2 years. I bought 10 of them at $13.50 a pop, spent $13,500. It started ripping up. Again, it's been up, holding up. I saw that it had pretty good bid support. It was actually going up. It was a lot harder to sell the last few days, so I was like, okay. We were up about 30%. I sold 7 of the contracts to get back almost as much as I paid. So this confused people because you see here, I bought them for $13,000, but then I sold them for $12,700. That may not make sense to some of you. How did we make it free, or how did we make money if I got less money? In this case, I pretty much spent $700. That's the difference between $12,800 and $13,500. But now I have 3 more contracts remaining, and those 3 contracts are worth $5,500. So this is pretty much a majority of all the profit. So this is the idea of getting in a play. I put down an initial capital. The idea is to get most or all of it back and make the play free. So now I could hold a very sizable position, and it is mostly profit. I really only have $700 of risk, but this play now has 2 years for me, and it's already in the money, and we like Uber for the long term. So that was a play we made today. That's how we made it free. It's a little tutorial. Again, we've done this many times. The idea is to get back your initial investment, and you could hold it. Again, we've even done that with the shares. If you guys even remember Gap, we did the same exact thing here. We have a pretty extensive history on it. We bought 1,000 shares in July for $12,900 and then did almost the same thing. I sold 70% of the stock, but we got more money back. In this case, you see here, when I sold them in August, I got back $13,100. We spent $12,900 for 1,000 of them, but I only had to sell 750 shares. So I've been holding these 250 gap shares for free, and we still have the initial investment as well as the gain. But again, we got all of the money back. This was a pure profit free play. So keep that in mind. That's what we did on that play. A lot of you guys were asking. So watch those first two ones. The next one is PayPal. I made this play today. I took the bait. I like it. It still ended up closing a little bit up here, but there was a BS rumor. It had a little pop. Again, I took the bait. It actually looked like it moved. That's why I kind of liked it throughout the day. So I was like, hey, I could justify it. Even tying it into the financials, they kind of rotated a little bit good. So I only spent $60. I got these January 280 calls at 23 cents a pop. They closed up a little higher, I believe. They ended up actually closing up 100%. Again, it still had some follow through, so it ended up working in my favor. Grabbed those. I grabbed a Facebook January puts too. I bought two of them at 48 cents. That was another play, but I got that kind of to hedge and play the rotation. I was expecting us to kind of have even like a vaccine sell-off today, but we didn't have that. But watch those. Costco, I think, is going to be a very, very fire play tomorrow. It depends how people take it. And why do I say that? Simply because of their special dividend. So they did this about 5 years ago, and I remember it made it pretty exciting, but I think there's a certain cutoff date. So I think people might still be able to buy in to receive it, but I think that might affect it a little bit. Had a decent pop after hours, but that's a slower moving one. So if it gets a lot of eyes, it'll be good. And then finally, Walmart and ABBV. I say finally because I think these are a little bit extra. I like the Walmart. I like where it's at. They're all the way back up at highs. I think it could be a good rotation play, but the contract seemed a little bit more expensive here. I kind of want to get it when it stalls out here, but I do like the whole proposition. If you remember with the whole TikTok deal and all of that stuff, there was a lot of good things going in favor of Walmart. So I really, really like that. Going to be watching them. And then finally, ABBV. I think this one's going to be really, really interesting because, one, it is great that Warren Buffett took a stake in this. Again, all the long-term holders, I hope you know, one reason I really like about Mr. Buffett taking a stake is that now it eases some of the longer-term concerns of Humira and the fact that it's a spin-off company. Usually the spin-offs, again, ABBV is a spin-off of Abbott. That's usually a little bit more risky in the long term. You would think the spin-offs wouldn't really end up being the same size of Abbott, which I'm pretty sure ABBV is close. But now also that Humira patent expiring, it's just good to see people with a long-term vision who also like the dividends and quality in there. So there's that. But now as far as a trading perspective, I think this one's going to be great tomorrow because, again, it's not supposed to move a lot. If this surprises, I think it might be a little bit more suppressed after hours, so we'll see. But I think this could be a good one, but I'm putting that one last because it might just be better to own this stock in the long term. But some of you guys said you had success with trading this, so we'll see. But I like that. As far as everything else, watch Boeing and the airlines. Again, this is the canary in the coal mine, and you could see even with vaccine news, there's a reason why airlines are coming back up. And this is what I said, watch for this movement and see if all of that comes up. Again, even look at hospitality, Caesars, Wynn, all of those. Keep your eye on those. Same thing, even kind of applies to Target. Similar logic to Walmart. They got a CNBC pump today. And then I believe the CEO was mentioned by Biden during that economic conference when he said that. So he mentioned them as well as Microsoft, even Gap as well too. So watch them. Again, DraftKings had a pop after hours, came up, but it's been doing that, but it's slowly been inching up. That's what we kind of want to see here. So I'll see how the market picks that up, but I kind of like that. Again, it's had a series of good news and the stock movement has been lagging. I think some people are still a little scarred by it, but I like it a lot. So I'm watching those. Again, like we said, Microsoft and Gaps, they both got mentions with the Biden team. Or Biden himself. ABBV, Tesla, we'll see 465. We're doing pretty good here. But I think a lot of eyes are going to be on that. Watch Apple and Facebook. Apple moved a little bit interesting. Again, that whole tech rotation did exist today. Everything did better. And at one point, tech was lagging, but they came up. Facebook, I thought was going to rotate a little bit harder, but it didn't. I think it's kind of moving a little bit more interesting, but it didn't make that move. That's why I kept that small. Watch Myrna and Pfizer. See if the vaccine continuations continue. That's going to be key. Even like INO, VRTX or VXRT. We have a lot of those. Again, we brought up all the names. They're coming out in different phases. Again, distribution and all of that will be key. So watch that. And then finally, Walgreens. Again, it's just been killing it. And even this is just a note to watch all the value stocks and see, because this trend has gotten really, really big. We want to see when does it start to base out and then what does it do from there. But watch them. Again, SD Smile Direct Club. Those were some of the other after hours movers. But then GLD, UVXY, gold made an interesting move, but you could see again, all of it's basing out. And then we pull up TLT, it's chilled out. Remember, it was leading. So again, none of the global indicators are really pointing to panic or anything as much as some of the other news headlines or anything of that nature may suggest. So we're going to wait on the market, stay prepared, get ready for the end of the year. I hope you're ready, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Hydra Healthy ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember not to curse yourself, baby. You got to bless yourself. You can't take what's been cursed, but the code loves you. I love you. And we'll see you in the morning. Let's go.